This was brought to you by SACL CAI. Dave Ridley here, signing in this February 25th, 2008 for ridleyreport.com. We always hear disturbing things from the authorities. It's a common occurrence. We're not shocked by it when it happens. But something was said by a particularly important public official in New Hampshire recently, and I never got around to reporting on it when it first happened, but it still needs to be reported on. I tend personally not to get too caught up about what people say, whether it's politically correct, unless they are forcing you and me to pay their salary. Then it starts to really matter. nhcommonsense.org was on the scene when this man, Berlin, New Hampshire Police Chief Peter Morency, indicated to a House committee that he favored the prohibition of alcohol. Morency is not just a police chief, he is president of the New Hampshire Association of Chiefs of Police, an organization that is active and influential at the New Hampshire State House. Liberty activists had a camera rolling when he made his comments.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You reference drug abuse and alcohol in the same phrase. You don't separate them by I don't know what percent. By following your logic, would you reinstitute prohibition?
No one would certainly would consider it. I was one at the time when we looked at this, but I can't go there.
One more time.
I certainly would consider it. I was one at the time when we looked at this, but I can't go there.
Now, when you're dealing with the police and you admit to something that you probably shouldn't admit to, they will often say, "We appreciate your honesty." Well, in a sense, I appreciate Chief Morency's honesty, but what kind of puritanical bureaucrats are we dealing with? Are those the people you want in charge of the men patrolling your streets? Folks that think you ought to be put into a slammer for having a beer? I called Chief Morency last month when I first found out about this, to try and get a comment. I just asked him to comment on the House Bill 1623. I didn't specifically bring up this controversial thing. He never called me back. So, I guess we'll never, at least this time around, until I just bump into him, we won't hear too much from him. But that's just a look at some of what goes on in a bureaucrat's mind. They're willing to go back to the gangster days of the 1920s and early 30s, rather than admit that they're wrong about drug prohibition. Thanks to nhcommonsense.org for that video. I don't know specifically who shot it. I couldn't get to anything more specific than nhcommonsense.org, so that's the link I'm using. But I will provide the best direct link I can to that video so you can see the original. This is Dave Ridley signing off for ridleyreport.com shortly. But first, this edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by SACL CAI. They're a company that does collections a whole new way. They know that not only do you want your Benjamins back, you want to keep your customers. SACL CAI. They collect with respect.